Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Maryland Jockey Club at Laurel Park for a Sunday edition of Today at the Races. I'm Dan Ullman along with Keith Fustel. Keith, some exciting action yesterday here at Laurel Park. Mado, super impressive wiring the field in the weather vane. 109 and change?
That was eye-catching. A little bobble out of the break, quickly recovered with Sheldon Russell, and she was too clear soon after the start, after that recovery, and just relaxed beautifully on the front end. And when he said, let's go, she really responded upper stretch, drawing off, winning by about 8. Yeah. 89 preliminary buyer figure. That's serious stakes numbers right there. I mean, that's strong. Let's see if she can keep it going.
She's 3 for 3 lifetime now with blinkers. Brittany Russell mentioned after the race, maybe we'll see her at Keeneland for some graded stakes action. I think they have, the Raven Run coming up in October, 7/8 of a mile for 3-year-old fillies. That might be a nice spot for Maida. Super impressive in the weather vane stakes. We've got 9 on tap today. It's a nice cool day as we finish up summer. Tomorrow, of course, is the official first day of fall. Let's take a look at our weather conditions. The main track is fast. The turf is firm. Post time is at 12:10 Eastern. Nice cool day, 68 degrees.
Very comfortable out there. We may have a couple showers possibly later in the day. We're hoping they stay away. But yeah, main track fast. Turf is firm. I like today's card. I told you yesterday straight up, I did not have a great feel, and it showed. I mean, I didn't do good at all. So I'm hoping to bounce back today. I like this card a lot.
I'm depending on you.
Okay.
Boy, I did not have a good feel for this card at all. I'm taking guesses and swings in some of these races.
Not
so I'm
every
going to be depending on you. But still, we'll have some fun. We'll throw out some information. And we're getting ready for next week because next week is going to be super here at Laurel Park. Not only are there 2 important stakes races for 2-year-olds, the Laurel Futurity and the Salima, both on the turf with a $125,000 purse, but handicapping contests are back at Laurel Park. It's the Autumn Handicapping Challenge, $500 buy-in, $250 entry fee, $250 bankroll. Winners get cash and also an opportunity to qualify for the Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge at Del Mar or the National Handicapping Championship next year in Las Vegas. Always fun. We had a great turnout in the spring. This is a hybrid contest. You can play here. You can play online. Register at laurelpark.com.
No reason why you shouldn't be involved in this handicapping challenge. Yeah, we had a really good turnout last time.
And of course, if you're handicapping along with us, please use our free handicapping guide, which comes with free daily racing form DRP past performances at laurelpark.com/picks, or you can scan the QR code right here at the track. We've got picks, we've got analysis, we've got trainer stats, we've got trip notes, we've got horses to watch, we've got bias information. We've got everything from all of our team.
And I steal some information sometimes for sure, because we don't all have the time to go through everything, and somebody's going to bring something to the table that you missed. And trust in the teamwork that goes into this handicapping guide. I really like it. And I like a chance to kind of go back after I do all of my work, look back, what did I miss? And certainly each day there's going to be something. Somebody's going to wake me up to a trip or a pedigree, and I'm very appreciative of it.
Let's start things off with race number 1 on this 9-race Sunday card. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the Dahlia turf course. A starter and optional claiming race for 3 and up. The purse is $30,000. Take out the 4 Blow By 'em and the 7 Built by Kozan. This is the first leg and the first of 2 value pick 5 wagers with a low 12% takeout. Keith, you've got a ticket for us.
Yeah, and $27, very affordable. Key scratch did happen in today's first race with the 7 Built by Kozan. This flow definitely changes. It could kind of bump up Elon, who I don't have in my picks. Maybe you want to add. I go 2 and 9 just to fly and take the 5th to get you started into this 12% takeout early value pick 5. I'm 3 deep in the next 3. Race 2 with the 1, 2, and 5. Punch Boy Palace. Morning Thoughts. States United back. I think might like it better here at Laurel Park. Race 3 with the 3, 4, and 7. Race 4, Armando R on a little bit of a drop. I'm still going to use him. I think he can kind of just run his normal race and get a piece and excuse in latest. Stormy Chroma, like a lot, it's the speed and the 7 in there. Let's go to the, I'm sorry, did I get ahead of myself? Yeah, in the 4th, I'm sorry, Armando R. Storming Chrome.
Yes.
Hey Chief to make a run from the back to the back. There's my single, race 5. Nola Boss. You did not have this one, I don't think, in your selections, did you?
I think I might have made a mistake. I saw him schooling in the paddock yesterday with
Okay.
Mackenzie Pfeiffer. Mackenzie said he looks turfy.
He looks turfy. I think he is turfy. $27 for that early value pick 5. Got to like Mac with McRaven to get it done.
That's
And
right.
the nightcap, you with a good pick with Coiled at 16 and change. Both of those, Victor Carrasco.
I need
believe.
1.5-mile turf races. Maybe that's what I need
How
in
about
order
the
to
handle?
be successful.
I wonder was that the race?
Yeah, the
Well, it was
huge
like
handle
over
for 1.5 turf
440?
races.
I like it.
And we got Big Fields. The racing office did a very, very nice job, as they did with this card as
Next
well.
week, too.
Oh,
We got
next week. Really looking
monsters on
forward to these
Friday.
stakes races and some big fields
Yeah.
on Friday. Let's start things off with the horse that's likely going to be the favorite, currently at 4-5. That's the number 2, Just to Fly. We have a video spotlight for Just to Fly.
Yeah, this is the Colonial most recent race on the 1st of September. 30,002 in life. Broke from the inside. I thought had to be used a little bit early. Was nudged upon to hold early position. Works outward here, then between horses. Just doesn't quite have that final kick against Captain Eddie. I thought he was going to get a chance maybe to relax a little bit more on this turf course. Now with the scratch built by Kozan, maybe not so fast, may still have to be coaxed along to get fairly close by the time they're mid-turn, but in Trombetta we trust.
In Trombetta, we trust if you believe in this trainer stat between September the 3rd and September the 14th on turf, 10 for 30, 30% to 244 ROI. Just looking at this horse's past performances, just seems to be more effective going short on the turf. 2 races on turf with blinkers and Lasix. You've got a 3rd place finish at Laurel, and you've got a win at Laurel, and then a 3rd place finish last time out at Colonial, win at Saratoga. So Just to Fly, I think, is a sprinter. I think Just to Fly is coming off of a solid enough race, albeit with a pretty solid trip, and I think this horse is going to run on at the end. Before I bungle another one, let's go on to the 9. Take the 5th, your top selection in here. I like that you're going with a price.
You're not bungling. Take the 5th. Yeah, again, look at that opening quarter last time at Colonial. 24, 5.5. Picked it up, sharper second, just couldn't rally into it when caught 7 wide, past the 3/16 pole. The 2-back try is good. It's a key race. It's a triple key race. I think this horse is going to run on. I wish Built by Kozan would have stayed in, but has a win over this turf course. Take the 5th for Kelly Rubley and Carol Sedan to give you a little bit of a price shot in the opener.
You're certainly right about that pace last time out. Not only was it slow, it was controlled by the winner who just wired this field. This horse did the best that he could, rallying from so far off that slow opening quarter mile. The runner-up came back and placed with a 70 Beyer speed figure. This horse looks like he's coming into this race in good form. Just to Fly, I think, is a turf sprinter. I think Sheer Magic, the number 3, is also a turf sprinter. This horse was 3rd, going short at Laurel, sprinting on the grass last year, and last time out at Colonial wired the field. So it's nice to know this horse has enough tactical speed that if the pace is slow, he can be within range.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. One of these two get away with it up front, the 3 Sheer Magic and or the 5 Elon. War Humor's a horse for Robbie Bales. I think is better than what he's kind of shown recently. He might be aided by the scratch, can be forward enough to kind of make a move and finish into this. Agent Kelly.
Yes.
Yeah, at 20 to 1 on the morning line may come down now because of those couple of scratches. That was a traffic-filled, kind of a trouble-filled race last time, right around mid-stretch. This horse has the kick. I think that could work in here and can lay a little bit closer. I'm hoping by the time they turn for home. This Tori Alba, who picks up the mount today, I talked about it yesterday. Really did a good job with some traffic with a runner for Horacio De Paz when they teamed up for a win. I think he's going to fit in here at a good number. Maybe not quite get up in time, but tries. 3rd and 4th position, that kind of number could help.
Yeah, race flow is so important in this race, and with the scratch, there's a chance the 5 Elon is going to be able to make the lead, and that didn't happen last time out. First start off of a layoff, this horse dueled with an 8-to-1 shot that finished 5th, so Elon won that duel, lost the war. Might not have to go as fast in the early stages of this race for a trainer-jockey combination that sent out Tiger Paw sprinting on the turf to win at 61-to-1 on the lead. So maybe Elon will try to take this field a long way.
Yeah, I think he definitely could. Straight to Water's another horse I'm going to toss in, just first time on the turf, trying to reawaken the form. He's tailed off a little bit recently, but there is some turf. Half to a multiple turf winner. who topped it an 84 buyer.
9, 2, 1, and 8 for Keith, 2, 3, 5, and 9 in the opener. Also the opening leg of our value pick 5, a 50-cent wager with a low 12% takeout rate. Let's take a look at the field for race number 2. We're going a mile and a 16th on the main track. It's a claiming race for 3-year-olds and up. We have a field of 6. This is the first leg of our early 50-cent minimum pick 4 wager. 3 pick 4s today, early, middle, and late. Let's start things off with the 1 Pudge Boy Palace, your top selection.
Yeah, let's go to the video spotlight from that September the 7th race with Morning Thoughts and with Admit Nothing. This is a good run here, leaving the 3/8 pole. Morning Thoughts did a lot of the dirty work. Caught 3 and 4 wide early on, moves to the front. Here comes my selection, Pudge Boy Palace in amongst between horses. Admit Nothing, the eventual winner, circles, 5, 6 wide to engage. Pudge Boy Palace, just, he just can't quite go on. Goes down towards the inside. Now watch this run from Morning Thoughts. Altering back out. Looks done, right?
Looks
all
absolutely
done at the
finished, and then comes with a re-rallying bid once he gets to the outside and clear. Now I wonder if the 2 horses in front of Morning Thoughts at this point are starting to feel the effects of making prolonged wide moves into the pace. Pudge Boy Palace was really forced to engage early when the winner, Admit Nothing, made an early move to his outside. And that was all before they even turned into the long stretch of the second wire finish. It was a nice performance for all 3 horses because, again, they were all in with 3 furlongs, 3.5 furlongs out. Pudge Boy Palace now draws a nice inside post position and can trip out.
I like it. We've got Walter Rodriguez on today. Yes, picking up some weight. Walter Rodriguez, maybe a little more experience. Jockey trainer combo over the last couple years, over $3. I like that. I think he's got enough positional speed. If Morning Thoughts wants to go ahead and go, lax in track, and then maybe go on the attack, say midway around that final turn. This is an interesting flow again, because if States United doesn't go, coming back to the mile tracks, Morning Thoughts could be loose on the lead.
I agree. I think Morning Thoughts is going to get to the lead. Really, the key to this race for me is how is Mr. Torrealba going to ride Admit Nothing? Last time out, came from way off of the pace, has enough tactical speed to stay close. I think this race flow will be slow. I think Admit Nothing, breaking from the outside post, has to kind of be aggressively ridden to get position without losing too much ground. It's very dicey with the short run into the first turn from an outside post.
Yeah, and you've got some horses that are stayers. They're fighters, so his hand could be forced a little too soon.
I want to talk a little bit about States United, the number 5 in here, because you did mention this horse has some tactical speed. At Timonium last time out, I don't know if he really cared for that service. I think he's dirtied up.
Yeah.
You look back at his last 2 races at Laurel Park, they resulted in wins. His race at Delaware 3 starts back. He worked so hard on the lead. He worked so hard on the lead at Charlestown with a mid-move 2 starts back. And I'm just going to throw out the Timonium race saying he didn't like it. So maybe if States United can stay close to the pace and gets back to a track that he's had a lot of success at.
Agreed. He's better than those last 2. Maybe it was kind of the shorter tracks there, Timonium and Charlestown, back to a mile track. He may like it a lot.
Is Lonely Ride dressed up, Keith? 2 starts back. This horse just got just a really candy race flow. They really were cooking with gas, especially that second quarter mile. Lonely Ride was far, far back and just came with a kick and blew him away in the stretch. I'm not sure that scenario is available to him.
I don't think it is in here, and I think he's facing a little bit better than that Foreign Life company that he saw at Monmouth 2 races back.
But Pudge Boy Palace, Admit Nothing, Morning Thoughts. They have a nice little mini rivalry going. 1, 2, 5, 6 for Keith, 6, 1, 4, 5 for me. In race number 2. Race number 3, a mile and a 16th on the all-along turf course, a maiden special weight for fillies and mares 3 and up. We have a field of 7 in here. This is the first leg of our middle pick 4, 50-cent minimum wager. The payoffs have been really good in the pick 4 recently, so you might want to get involved in these wagers. Let's start things off with Protective Custody, Keith. That's your top selection in this race, and we have a statistic for Shug McGahee. When Shug comes down to Maryland and puts Forrest Boyce on, they mean business. Yeah, you have to pay attention if we've got that stat, and they are going to be reunited again. There it is, trainer-jockey combo in Maryland. 6 for the last 20, 30% strike rate with a 235 ROI. Outer post at Colonial, a mile and a 3/16.
maybe been a little too close to the slower flow, probably kind of forced with Mako to kind of get that Poe. Maybe not the kind of trip that she wanted. I think she's better suited to sit a little bit further back. I like her company lines in the 2-back and 3-back tries. Mopo, Royal Sweet in that 2-back try in the maiden special weight, making that run at Colonial just to come up a little bit short. That horse came back to run well in an allowance race. So company works for me. Needs to stay fairly close. I think, again, cover will help to carry this runner.
Tap the Champagne, the number 7, is a very interesting runner. This horse finished second in the turf debut last time out at Churchill Downs. Was dismissed at a big price that day and showed really good speed. Tried to sneak away and steal the race through a quick third quarter in 23.89. Held the lead all the way down to the stripes and just was run down late. This horse went through the digital auction at Inglis USA after that start and sold for $350,000. Now, a lot of that is going to be due because she's a very valuable broodmare prospect, a daughter of Tappet, a half-sister to Grade 1 stakes winners Danza and Majestic Harbor. But the turf race was pretty good, and this new barn does well in these sort of situations. We have a trainer stat for the 7 Tap the Champagne, Michelle Nihe, first after 2 to 4 month layoffs on the turf, 20% and almost a $7 ROI.
I think Neil Pest is going to be back doing maybe a little assistant work working with Michelle down at the fairgrounds, but this horse is dangerous on the front end. Who's going to go with her? Could you see Vinalia, or do you think that one's going to try to take back a little bit? Georgia Ruiz here for Motion, not including yesterday, but leading into that the last couple of weeks, 5 for 13, really hitting well. Those tighter turns, coming off of that race at Del Mar at 5/8, maybe that wasn't her cup of tea. She's got a race 3 back that looked really good at 6.5 at Santa Anita. There is route. Second dam, I saw plenty of that. Wanted a 1 1/8. Interesting to see what this one's going to do stretching out. Grand Motion's done well with these stretch outs, though.
I think Vinalia is going to be close. I think the 5 Determined Achati, second time on the turf, adding blinkers, can be close to the pace. And Vinalia being close to the pace could help things out for her uncoupled stablemate, the number 4 Tellus Mater. We have a video spotlight for this horse's one and only start at Gulfstream Park way back in January.
The thing that impressed me the most about this was the way that she relaxed in between horses. I call it the death trip. You give that to a first-time starter, and for the first half of a mile, she was caught in between horses, but was completely unfazed, not bothered at all. You're going to pick her up here in those Bridlewood Silks, working well out in the course for the final 3/16 of a mile. I think she kicks on just fine behind right there with the Tablefort next out winner.
Tablefort, you're right, did come back to win at Gulfstream with a 75 Beyer speed figure. Now, Graham did have this horse entered at Gulfstream in March, scratched, and is now coming out of a long layoff. Graham usually does very well off long layoffs. I usually like to see at least 1 5/8 work from the Motion barn off long layoffs. That's kind of the pattern there. But if this pace is hot, this horse did show ability, and I'm expecting a strong late kick.
Yeah, opening quarter going to be very interesting. Tap the Champagne. If she clears and relaxes, is able to kind of back things up a little bit down the backside, she's going to be tough. I like your top selection here. I'm going to hope protective custody can get a little bit of cover and bring a run with that deadly combination, Shug and Forrest Boyce.
3-7-4 and 1 for Keith. 7-4-3-5 for me in race number 3. Race number 4 will move back to the main track. It's at 1 1/16. The starter optional claimer. $29,000 is the purse. We have a field of 8 in here, including some old friends like Armando R and It's Sizzling Time. Just horses that have been bouncing around for a long time. You've got to admire them all. This is the first leg of our 20-cent Chesapeake Pick 6 wager. If you're lucky enough to pick the first place finisher in each of the final 6 races, and you are the only one to do so, you take home the whole pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You're the one and only jackpot wager winner. I want to start things off with Storming Chrome, the number 4, your top pick.
Yeah, this is a horse, I think, when you talk about dirtied up form, perfect. Jamie Ness, J-Rod, second time in this barn. I like the way this horse was working into the return try at Colonial. Bullet going a half, good half out of the gate, 5/8, yes, 7/8. Why don't we go to the turf? Well, let's muddy it up a little bit. Why not? This is a race devoid of any true speed. Storming Chrome has shown the ability to get to the front or lay just off of it and fight it out. I think this is a perfect setup with J-Rod. Last away, rank early. Bothers me a little bit in that shorter field of Colonial on the turf, but I think back to the main track at a mile and a 16, take advantage of the shorter run of the first turn. Let's get aggressive. I think this horse carries his speed a long way, and when you hook him, you're going to have to fight to beat him.
The last time this horse went turf to dirt, he won by 10. It was a maiden race. The last time this horse ran at Laurel Park, he went right to the lead, as you mentioned, and he scored. And he was just in some tough competition in those dirt races in New York. Two back, that treaty obligation came right back to repeating an allowance with a with an 88 buyer speed figure. So he certainly fits, and he should show some speed. Let's talk about the 3, Mailman Money. That's my top selection in here. Just an honest horse that performs well, it seems, on any kind of surface, whether it's dirt or synthetic or turf. Like your top pick is going turf to dirt. The last time he ran on the main track, he was coming off a little bit of a layoff, and it was a day at Monmouth Park where just speed dominated. Every race was basically won in wire-to-wire fashion. He was on a hard chase through solid fractions, 23-1, 23-2, and he tried very hard to finish second. I don't think he's quick enough to make the lead in here. I think your horse has speed, and so does its sizzling time. But I do think Mailman Money can sort of tuck in behind.
Yeah, that would be perfect, because we know where Armando R is going to be, the horse from the rail. So he's got the ability to kind of drop in. Geppo opted out of that turf race yesterday to go here on the main track. Dan Ward, again, solid trainer. I think this horse will sit a nice trip.
It's all about flow for Armando R, who we know is a one-run closer, and it just wasn't there for him the setup last time out. He was wired at Colonial in a race where they ran 1, 2, 3 around the track, and that just does not work for a horse like Armando R. Maybe there'll be some more hitting this time. He's taken a big class drop.
Taking a big drop, and then just throw the line through the last and just look at straight buyer figures. Even when the flow maybe wasn't there, he can kind of make that run to that fig. This might be just what the doctor ordered. Shoe repair and last, Colonial, not the track. In most of the races I saw there, that's not a track suited for him. I know they've got the long stretch and everything. That speed just seems like it's like a conveyor down there.
Lots of horses going turf to dirt in this race, including the number 8, Hate Chief, a horse we both have in there. He had a potential claim voided last time out by the vet, and then he was entered at Scratched in Timonium on August the 22nd. But from a class standpoint, he just seems like he fits this race really well. He was another closer that I think was compromised in a paceless race 2 back at Pimlico, a very tough race that produced 3 next out winners.
Yeah, point to him, got to the front and got it done. You have a stat. Correct.
Yes, we do.
For
Hey, Chief. Hugh McMahon, first after 2 to 4 month layoffs, 5 for the last 19, 26%, $2.29 ROI. And it's always nice to see when Hugh McMahon gives them those 1 mile breezes leading up to a race. It's often a sign that they're coming into the race in good form. We also have a trainer stat on self-taught.
Yeah,
the number 5.
Yeah, just go right on by that one. Right, Maldonado, first after the claim on the dirt, 4 for the last 19. Look at that ROI, 559. All this horse does is run well. 10 for 47 life, 9 seconds, 7 thirds, over 300,000 in earnings. Comes off of that race at Colonial. This horse is another one who can get good stalking position, and he brings a finish.
He has won 2 races in a row. Now, both of them did come at Colonial, and I thought he got a great setup last time out. Unlike Armando R, they went the second quarter in there in 22-3. Self-Taught was hanging out in the back watching those front runners burn themselves out, and then Self-Taught kind of made a nice early move into the pace to make the lead with a 5-wide bid and held sway. In good form, another horse. Curious to see where he'll be early.
Yeah, I think he can be like 3-4 out of it, maybe a little bit more into the far turn, and then start ramping things up. This is not an easy race.
No.
I'm banking. I've seen this movie before with Ness, that the dirty up form. Now we're coming back to the main track. Go ahead, get aggressive. In for the tag. I had done my. Let's.
A lot of angles.
Yeah, there's a lot of angles.
A lot of angles. 4-1-8-3 Storm and Chrome should be right there when the field turns for home. Want to see Mailman Money, an honest horse, not too far behind when they turn for home. 3-8-5-7 for me in race number 4. 4 down, 5 to go on a Sunday edition of Today at the Races. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Today at the Races. I'm Dan. He's Keith. Let's take a look at the field for race number 5. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the Dahlia Turf Course. It's a starter optional claimer for 3-year-olds and up. Take out the main track only entrant, the number 5. Tojo's Mojo. This is the first leg of our late value pick 5. 12% takeout. It's one of the best bets, if not the outright best bet in the business. The value pick 5 is at Laurel Park, the first 5 races, and this late value pick 5, the last 5 races. Mackenzie Pfeiffer has a ticket for us all.
Mac just missed yesterday. A big payout. I think it was over $5,000. It didn't have coil.
No.
Maybe the other, people we talking about. This is kind of like some framework for you. They tossed in coiled and got it done. Still great work by Mackenzie Pfeiffer. Late value pick 5 starts right here in race 5 with the 1, 10, and 11. Nola Boss, Moon Factor, Tool Pusher. The 11 is a horse I like here, as well. Bernie Dunham, Wesley Ho combo. This horse could come rolling if a duel develops. Race 6, here's our single. This is bold to me. I mean,
it's a tough
Brittany
race.
Russell, Sheldon Russell, yeah. But what a horse race 6 is. We're going to try to get it through with Rominski in race 6. Race 7, 6, 10, 11. Another tricky race. Not a lot of flow. Some horses that are laggards trying to make a run. 6, 10, 11. Race 7 for Mackenzie Pfeiffer. Race 8 with the 3, 5, and 8. Like Cactus in there off the claim for Robbie Bales. And let's go ahead and wrap things up for this $40.50 ticket. 146 in the 9th. Knit Witness at a short price with J. Rod and Jamie Ness, Margaret P. and Sassy Maxine.
Friends, take advantage of that low 12% takeout. Max got a $40.50 ticket for you. 50-cent minimum play on the late value pick 5. Let's start out with Nola Boss, the number 1, going out for Brittany Russell. If this horse runs the dirt races on turf, Nola Boss is going to win. Nola Boss has raced twice on turf. That was way back before the horse even ran on Lasix. I won't be surprised if Nola Boss runs off the screen. Just a little bit too short of a price for me on a horse that doesn't have proven turf form, but again, Max saw this horse schooling yesterday and said all turf.
All turf, looks turf, and we've got a video spotlight going back to the 2-year-old season for Nola Boss at Club Colonial, battling with Saxton, and Saxton gets it done. But Nola Boss, part of this flow, an extended battle, again, gets a short lead here, upper stretch, and just can't quite keep going. But I think willing enough. Saxton recently, 76 down at Colonial in a solid allowance race. Now, you talked about it. First lay 6 on the turf today. How about first time gelding on the turf? Now, it was gelded back in July, but as a gelding, going to try the turf. There's lots of angles to like for Nola Boss. Out of that East Boston Benny race last time on the main track, which produced Bold Diversion to win yesterday. East Boston Benny right to the front. And Nola Boss had a little touch of trouble early. I think gets position. I don't know if right to the front, but I want to see this horse up close, and I think it goes ahead and brings a finish. I like gets eligible, was in that 2 in life for 16, 2 races back.
Yes, and if he breaks, he's going to be up and on or near the lead. Night Preacher and Tough Work out have speed, but Nola Boss certainly showed that speed on dirt 2 back.
I like your long shot in here for Mark Beecher.
The 6 Zapata is interesting because the one time this horse really only sprinted on the turf was at Louisiana Downs 3 Bank, and he didn't break well, and he came with a run. And he tried to stretch out to a mile last time out, and he just never got a breather. Those fractions are real solid. 24.67, 24.21, 24.58, and he still had the lead at the 8th pole before he really came apart. I think this shorter distance works, and in the Louisiana Downs race, at least he showed the ability to rate and finish. So if this pace is solid, I do think Zapata can come with a late run. These connections are low profile but solid. The price will be there.
Yeah, I think he's sneaky here. Caramano should fit this horse. This is his kind of horse where he can kind of go up, draft in behind horses, and then work a trip off of that through the stretch. I don't think he's as quick as Nola Boss. And the speed of the speed just might be the 7 Night Preacher for Salzman. This horse got it done last time at the Big T, but you go back to that turf try, the lone turf, took him a long way. 21 and 245 flat, could have been that long run up. I did not check that, but watch out, World. he's sharp now, this horse. He can stretch it a long way.
I expect that horse to show some speed, and Moon Factor will probably be close to the pace as well. Another horse off the Jonathan Maldonado claim. This horse really did a lot of work last time out at Colonial, just dueling and pressing in between horses. And the horses that he was battling on the lead with, one horse was even money, that horse finished fifth. Another horse was 3-1, that horse finished sixth. Moon Factor put those horses away and still stayed on to finish third. It was a promising effort, and again, we saw this owner-trainer combination score with Fielding at 21-1 last week.
We just ran the stat, right? Maldonado recently off the claim. That works. Tool Pusher's a horse.
Yes.
I think getting back to one turn on the turf course, getting back to a firm turf course. Now we're going 5.5. This horse is okay. Tall Order just misses that one. Beats Katie's Notion, who's a recent winner, right? Open company. Incinerator with a lot of trouble and still trying. Incinerator, a winner of two other than down at Colonial. Tool Pusher, I think moving back in the right direction. This is the right kind of spot back to the one turn on a firm turf
If
course.
the pace is hot, I think he's the horse that benefits the most, because you go back to his race at Laurel here in the spring, he ran fine. I thought he got into trouble in that Pimlico Key race. He was steadied and checked along the rail entering the turn. Might not have cared for the yielding course two back. And then last time out, he got wired in a slow-paced Key race. He kind of got shuffled back on the rail, then came 5 wide into the stretch, and he came with a run. So there are things to like about Tool Pusher. I think he has excuses for some of his recent races. You are going to go with Nola Boss, though, turning to the turf, and a horse that should show good positional speed. I'm going to take a little bit of a flyer with the 6, Zapata, 1-6-11-7 for Keith, 6-10-11-4 for me. Race number 6 is our feature race on the afternoon. It's a good one for 3-year-olds and up, and it stays intact. A field of 10 going 3/4 of a mile. It's an optional allowance claiming a vent. It is also the Jackpot Super High 5 race. $1 minimum wager, 15% takeout on the Jackpot Super High 5. It's also the opening leg of our final pick 4 sequence of the afternoon. 50-cent minimum on the late pick 4. Herd on the Street is the number 6. We've got a video spotlight.
You want fast racehorses. We got some really fast racehorses in race 6, and I think the horse that maybe I'm hoping is the Now horse. Is a horse coming off of a race at Timonium. Herd on the Street. Watch this horse down on the inside. The one horse just sitting ever so patiently with Boca Chica. Wait off the battle. Now it's going to be 3 deep, turning for home. We're going to shift out here about 4 or 5 wide upper stretch. And we're right close to the action at Timonium. This horse was whizzing on by, rolls, and goes clear by 2 and some change. Love the setup today. Look at this. Just gathered up there a little bit late. Yeah, we're shortening up a bit. But I think this horse can get position. J-Rod goes here. Doesn't ride Ness. Ness has got Marty Schwann. I think that's a little bit of a tell. This horse holding very good form. I just think there's so much speed. He can just relax and make that one run safe from the quarter pole home.
He's hit the board in his last 8 starts. He's just solid and consistent and tactical, and the price should be fair. He's 6-1 on the morning line. Max single in here is the 9, Rominsky, and we talked about Nola Boss schooling in the paddock yesterday. So did Rominsky, and Rominsky really impressed Mac, who said you just look strong, and I think this layoff works for Rominsky. He's been away for 73 days after his most recent start at Delaware. Racewright just couldn't find an excuse for him. He went to the front, the pace was reasonable, and he just couldn't get the job done. I like the break. I like the fact that Max said he looks good. I like the fact that he loves Laurel Park. He's won his last 5 here. He's 10 of 19. He draws outside some of the other speeds. I think if the real Rominsky shows up, the horse that is capable of popping those triple-digit fires, he'll be real tough, obviously.
Yeah, he's got speed right to the inside with Arden's Lucky to Be. SS Sinatra Twisted Ride. Let's see if he can kind of relax just a little bit, make a pop move around the turn. Do you think he can clear in here?
I'm not sure he can clear in here because Arden's Lucky to Be has got so much early speed in here. Even Karen's Notion has got some speed.
Karen's Notion, forgot about that
Sir Wellington, I think, is going to be close. Sir Wellington is a horse with a lot of back class. He's running some stakes races, and when Hugh Robertson gets on the trainer switch from Mac Robertson, recently the results have been very, very good. We've got a trainer stat for Sir Wellington, the number 8 horse, and it's pretty good lately off of the trainer switch. I believe it's 5 for the last 10, with a $2.72 return on investment off the barn switch. Sir Wellington last time out, it was not a very fast-paced race. It was an odds-on gate-to-wire winner. He pushed the pace outside and just didn't get it done. But again, he's got back class and tactical speed.
Yeah. He's been a warrior, this guy. Been a really, really nice racehorse. I think the 10
yes
warrants a lot of attention. Tuskegee Airman. Here's Ness. Here's Mortis Swan. Third back off the layoff. Okay, I've got a stat here. Past 5 years, 10 for 20 is Jamie Ness. Third after a 180 to 365 day layoff. 265 ROI. The 2-back try at Penn was good. Close and be the next out winner, Sheriff Ronnie. Lasix off last time. They thought enough to go in that stake against a really good horse. Just a little fade, too. Just didn't the last 3/16 of a mile. I think he fits perfectly. Drawn outside, that's fine. Stone speed to the inside. Draft in. Maybe they run as a little bit of a team. Hurdle on the street and Tuskegee Airman.
That's a big angle for Ness, as you mentioned, third off the layoff. And I kind of like him turning back in distance. I think he might be at his best at this point in his career as a late-running sprinter. And you mentioned the plethora of speed in this race. He ran a really strong figure 2 starts back. And he still has, I think, a little bit of upside potential. 6, 10, 9, and 4 for Keith. Herd on the street, really consistent.
Horse you talked about, I think it's going to slip away. I think he'll go up a little bit off of this line. Ferris Allen and Radical Right. You've liked this horse. He's been very, very consistent. My only concern, we were talking about earlier, with all of this speed to the outside, boy, Torgalvi's got to be good to not get shuffled back and get taken off his game that first quarter of a mile.
You're absolutely right. He's very consistent. He likes to run second and third a lot, so it's all dependent on trip, I think, for Radical Right. He should get the flow. Will he get the right trip in race number 6? Again, 6, 10, 9, 4 for Keith. Herd on the street, very consistent. We'll see if Rominski, max single in the late value, pick 5, can get it done off the short layoff, returning to his favorite track, 9, 8. 10 and 1. Race number 7, 1 mile on the turf course, the all-along turf course. It's a maiden claiming race for 3 and up. Take out the 1 Noble Gem. Take out the main track only runner, the number 8 Edelweiss. Keith, let's start with D Hopper, the number 9, a horse that I think is helped by the scratch of Noble Gem. He is very fast, D Hopper, and I think he can get to the lead.
Well, the 2 horses that concern me that could go with him are Royal Flush Hearts, the 4, and your longer shot, Doug's Triumph. I think he's quicker than everybody else. I mean, Steeler Nation possibly, but the Hopper went pretty quick 3 races back over this turf course at 1 mile and a 16th. Took him a long way just before packing it in. What was used hard early last time at Timonium. I don't know what his best surface is. Maybe a little bit on the turf, but there's not much in here speed-wise. So if Torgalva can get him to relax, maybe he does finally steal one here at the 1 mile distance.
You know, he's kind of been knocking on the door, hasn't he, in some starts. I'm a little concerned about the distance for him. I'm not sure what his best distance is, but if he can get loose and relax, why can't he sprint on home? In maiden claiming races, it's a good place to be up front on the lead. I'm just going with the complete flyer in here, Doug's Triumph, the number 3, a horse that debuted going a half mile as the only first-time starter in a race at Timonium, and he didn't break well and he didn't run well, and now he's switching to the turf and getting Lasix. He's a half to a nice turf horse. That everything
really nice turf horse.
Stakes winner sprinting, I think, but I think with the Irish War Cry on top, Doug's Triumph will be able to handle this distance. He's going to be a zillion to 1 in here. I don't want him getting cooked up in a speed duel, but I do expect him to run better than a debut.
It's when Bobby Leaf does his best work at 1,000,000 to 1.
Speaking of a big price, you've got one in your exacta, and that's the number 7, Union Thunder. In other words, a little bit of equipment change. While my top pick gets Lasix, yours is removing blinkers for a very good trainer.
This guy's done well on the turf. You see recently ROI 341. Rod Dog, Dave Rodman gave me a little stat here. We looked at it yesterday after the races. I've got him 3 for 6 the past 3 years with blinkers off with an ROI of 9 and change. Another one that doesn't have a whole lot of speed. We're taking the Lasix off. If things get heated with D Hopper and possibly Royal Flush Hearts or Doug's Triumph, Union Thunder, Royal Renegade, in Blackthorn Brusca, they're going to be the 3. They're going to be kind of well back early, I would think. and then just trying to ramp things up from the quarter pole home.
And Union Thunder of the three will be the best price by a
Yeah,
large margin.
yeah.
Let's talk about Blackthorn Brusca, another horse. He got wired like Union Thunder did last time out. It was a race where he tried to wind up an inside-out trip, and he was sort of in between horses in the lane. From a speed figure standpoint, he's right there. His race 2 starts back was good. I wonder if he's a bit of pace and trip dependent from this outside post. He cannot be afford to lose too much ground.
Yeah. Do you think the 6 has got a little bit more positional speed?
I do.
Royal Renegade?
Well, here's the problem, though. This horse doesn't break.
Okay.
You look at Royal Renegade starts, off slowly in the debut, hop steady start, 2 starts back. My note for the last race was off slow. Now that pace was very fast, and Royal Renegade was at the back. He, in my opinion, ran up into traffic at a key moment in mid-stretch. Would he have won? I'm not sure, but I think he would have been closer if he didn't run up into traffic. And the winner of that race was Sharp. Came back to run third in a claimer with a 65 buyer. If he does break, yes, he has more tactical speed, and it just looks like he's starting to figure the game out.
Yeah, out of that, Royal Renegade did her best work, if I'm not mistaken, was sprinting. Royal Renegade wants to go a little bit longer. It seems, I take a flyer, D Hopper. Maybe we can nurse and maybe we can hold on with Torrealba.
Looking for some prices. 9, 7, 6, and 11 for Keith. 3, 11, 6, and 2 for me in race number 7. It's late daily double time. Let's take a look at the field for race number 8. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the Dahlia Turf Course. It's an allowance race for Maryland bred or sired. Take out the 2. One of the speeds in the race, Smitten Enough. That could help out a horse like the 1, Watch Out World. But I do want to start off with Cactus, your top pick in here. Trainer stat.
I'm riding the Dan Illman trainer stat in race number 8. Robbie Bales, how about this first after the claim recently? 5 for the last 11, 45%, 573 ROI. Last time at Colonial, that was the first time he was right off the board. He was right there on the turf, but he had a little bit of trouble last time. It wasn't the most comfortable trip. It wasn't like check steadied, but there was caught in between, weight, shifted out all their course, ran on to the wire. I like his races at Pimlico, here at Laurel. Can sit. I mean, you talk about some of the speed coming out was Smitten Enough. I expect him to be stalking 2-3 wide, turning for home, and hopefully bring a finish first off the claim for Robbie.
Real consistent horse, likes it here. The runner-up from that last race came back and won at Colonial with a 78 buyer speed figure. Virginia Fitz, the number 5, is my top selection in this race, and we do have a video spotlight to show Virginia Fitz.
Yeah, this is the race going back June 14th over this course. First Lasix. This was off of a break from October to June. Chasing a long way, shifts in through the stretch. Dead game. Incinerator, just a little too good. But this horse is really willingly. And obviously, the move from 2 to 3, the additional Lasix, he's just getting better and better.
This is a horse who came off the layoff in this race, gave a very game performance, showed progression in his subsequent start at Colonial, a race that did go to closers, and he did benefit from a flow. And I wonder if he was just in a little bit too tough last time out against the likes of When I Get to Heaven, who's won a couple of stakes races here. Virginia Fitz just sort of saving ground to no avail. Susan Cooney sent out Nancy's boy to win a turf sprint here at a pretty big price, 15 to 1 on September the 5th. What I found interesting was that on the original overnight, Daniel Centeno was named on 3, Cactus, Upside Down Man, and Virginia Fitz. Chose Virginia Fitz.
Yeah, Virginia Fitz, and it looks like he can lay a little bit closer if needed. So, especially you look at the race at Laurel. I mean, they were going quick, and he was right there and never giving up.
Noah Chance might have been pace compromised last time out at Delaware. It was a race where they ran 1-2 all the way around the track. Noah Chance was the only horse making up serious ground.
Softer going that particular day, firmer ground, ran very well. Just got beat Elvis himself. Big effort. 3 races back over this course. It's another highly competitive group. Jolly Boss, I think, has races on his page working back up off of a good race last time at Colonial. That would play. But I'm going to bank on Cactus to kind of sit that tracking trip.
8563 for Keith, 5683 for me in race number 8. We'll wrap up our week of racing here at Laurel Park with race number 9, 7/8 of a mile. It's a maiden claiming race for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up. Field of 7 in here. The horse they're going to have to catch, the horse they're going to have to beat is the number 1, Knit Witness, who just simply went too fast on the lead last time out.
Way too fast, way too soon. Got caught in a dual muddy track down inside. Now, Park, sometimes that inside is negative. That day, I don't know if it is that bad, but I just think bouncing back here, out another furlong, or out a half a furlong, a little bit more relaxed flow. I think he can take them coast to coast.
If you're looking for a long shot, Tasty Time, the number 2, my top pick, seems like an unlikely winner on paper, but there are enough angles that maybe you might want to at least throw this horse in underneath. They debuted her on the turf at Colonial against an odds-on winner who came back and ran second with a 71 buyer. I just think her pedigree's all dirt. The Blofeld's to mere dirt. Her damn hashtag selfie was an 11-time dirt winner. The second dam was a 2-time dirt winner. Maybe Tasty Time will show a little bit of improvement getting back to the dirt. But Nit Witness has speed. And there are also some solid horses that we should talk about, including Margaret P. Look who she was in against last time.
I guess that's all you need to see, right? You know, trying to chase
Maida
around the racetrack. It's going to be tough. Certainly a lot of horses are going to get tired doing that, but I think it's 7. You've got a race on the page, 3 races back in November. It was okay, grinding kind of a run. I think should be a stayer against this group. The 5's kind of a sneaky play coming back to the main track as a little bit of a price. I overlook Tasty Time because your hashtags, that's all dirt. This horse could definitely move back up.
And Kerry Bryan's runner, the 6, Sassy Maxine, deserves a look. Coming down from New York, this horse at Saratoga last time out was bumped at the start, was very, very rank, went in tight near the back of the pack, entering the back stretch, and stayed on a little bit at the end after cutting the corner behind the 4 favorites. Just looks very well entered in here, and I think we'll see a little bit more tactical speed.
Yeah, agreed. That horse definitely plays.
But Nit Witness, the horse to catch and beat. 1, 5, 4, and 6 for Keith. 2, 6, 4, and 3 for me in race number 9. Top pick time, Keith. Where are you heading?
Do I have too many 6s? Horse
You
number
do.
6, race number 6,
6 to 1. Oh no!
It's not usually the greatest sign, but heard it on the street. Mike Girales off the big race at the Big T. Plenty of speed to set things up, makes a run, gets on by at a good number with J-Rod.
Let's take a look at my value play. It is in race number 4. Mailman Money, just a consistent horse, tactical enough. I like him getting back to the main track. Again, I think 9 to 2 on the morning line seems fair. 20 minutes to post for race number 1. Already $9,100 plus in our early value pick 5 pool. Take advantage of the low 12% takeout. Main track is fast. Turf is firm. Mackenzie Pfeiffer, Callie Francois, Dave Rodman will take you through the afternoon's action. Let's go up to the top of the stands for the voice of Maryland Racing, the voice of the Preakness, the great Dave Rodman for today's scratches and changes.
All right, good luck.